What is going on, guys and girls? My name is James ThnxCya and welcome back today to Hello Neighbor 2 Alpha 1. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different, and we're actually going to be using a trainer to take a look at some of the secret and sneaky locations that you don't normally get to see when playing the game normally. So yeah, it's been a long time since we've done this. We used to do this in the original Hello Neighbor. I always really loved doing it. And yeah, today we're going to check it out in Hello Neighbor 2 Alpha 1. Let's go. So, in case you aren't familiar with what a trainer is, or you haven't seen any of the previous Hello Neighbor content we've done, basically, back in the day, there was this dude called Greenhouse, and he actually had like a secret little mention inside the original Hello Neighbor. And what he does is he makes these kind of like cheat trainers that allows you to do certain stuff in the game. So, for example, if I click the number 1 here, I can actually fly. If I click the number 2, I can ghost mode, so I can actually go through items. And one of the coolest ones, now you see him, and now you don't. So we can actually disable and enable in-game characters. Hey, where did you come from? What? Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Hang on, here we go. Now you see him, and now you properly don't. He won't come back this time. If we click the number 4, he actually pops back up. And if we click number 3, boom, he's gone. So hopefully he won't bother us now, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to explore all around this place. And yeah, we're going to be using the ghost mode. So, I don't know where to begin. There's 2 things that I want to do. First, we're going to explore the map as it normally is. And then second, we're actually going to trigger the ending. And then we're going to go and hopefully be able to fly out and look at the ending from close up without the game actually finishing. So I don't know if that's 100% possible right now, but we will definitely try that at the end of the episode. And yeah, first things first, I think we'll go up there. Okay, so one thing I am going to do here is I'm going to increase the in-game speed. So you may notice that the trees and stuff are moving around really, really quickly. I'll show you something else. Like, just it looks really crazy, so I'll show you in just a second. But one of the secret things that people actually picked up on really, really quickly is when you are playing, so this is the house. This is where all of the action happens in Alpha 1. You actually look up to your left, so if we were just standing there normally, you look up to your left, and there are some cable cars here that link a building up to the theme park. So we actually saw in Hello Guest, we saw the theme park itself, and there was like these cable cars, but as we are playing here in the Alpha 1, there are a couple of people who are watching. So if we go inside this actual cart here, we can see that this is one of the, I guess you call them like the vandals or whatever from the theme park, and for some reason, am I seeing that right? What's he got up his nose? Ew! Do you guys see that? That's really gross. I don't know why that's happening. But this guy is just one of the vandals. He's the people that you have to scare away from the theme park in Hello Guest. And yeah, he's actually watching us. But if we now go up to the second cable car, which by the way look really, really cool, if you actually look in here, you can see that the man in the hat is also watching us from a distance. So we can actually take a really, really nice close-up. It seems like he's got like a newspaper in one of his pockets, and he's basically just standing there watching the house. Now the cool thing is, and hopefully we'll be able to see this later, when you actually trigger the ending, I believe he is also once again standing in the background. So I don't think we know for certain how all these characters are linked together right now, but they are present inside Hello Neighbor 2, and I'm sure they're going to be part of the storyline at some point. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Alright, so secondly, the actual house itself. Now, the cool thing about this, because we do have like the no clip, is we can actually go like into all of the rooms, although from what it seems like, there's nothing really too secret in this place. Like, there's no secret areas that we can't actually get into. This is inside the attic, which is where the ending scene gets triggered. So hopefully we'll be able to do that thing at the end. But we can kind of just have like a proper little look around, and we can see everything that's going on. So since we played Hello Neighbor, this build on the channel, I believe they've done like a couple of content updates and stuff just to fix it. And apparently now the stove is working properly, the furnaces and stuff aren't as buggy. I haven't replayed it since. But yeah, this is the house. But more importantly, we can actually go underneath the house now, and we can see some really, really weird stuff. So firstly, this is where the guest model is stored, I suppose, underneath the map itself. But there's also some weird things. So if we go in this direction, look, there is a second man in hat underneath the map. So I'm guessing that this is the guy that actually triggers when the cutscene begins at the ending. Now, weirdly, there's actually no neighbor model, and I was surprised not to see a neighbor model under here, because if all the other ones are, where's the neighbor hiding? He must trigger from somewhere. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you these. Oh yeah, and look at this. This is so cool. So this must be how the devs actually design what the guest or the bandit does. And for some reason, there is this thing. So this is like a control panel. And I think this is basically, it shows you what the bandit is doing. Now, obviously, when you're playing it normally, there's no way of seeing this. But because we are under the map, it's this weird little panel. And you can see his anger rating. So his maximum anger is 1,500, and then it also goes down to 0. So actually, if I spawn him back in, there we go. He might be annoyed at us, but maybe that will change. We can also push buttons. Current status repair, so he's repairing stuff in the house. He's executing tasks. His anger has gone down to 0. He's gathering objects, and you can see that he can also wash in the shower. He drinks coffee. He fuels the fire as well. And everything that he does inside the house actually appears on this panel. Now, I don't know why, but it's here. And I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm just going to get rid of him now. Yeah, there you go. Mad. So I suppose because we can fly around and pretty much go anywhere we want, we might as well just have a look at a few random bits and pieces in and around in the background. So it really does seem that most of the action really happens inside the house, and apart from a few random items located in this giant area behind us, there isn't a whole lot here that we've missed out on. I tell you what I'm going to do. Let me go and get a torch. Okay, so yeah, hopefully this will let you guys see it a bit better, I guess. But yeah, there are some really just strange items, and I have no idea really why they're located up here. So for example, this middle thing here, this is just like a giant water tower. But for some reason on the very top, there is a security camera and a, just like, you know, one of the TV systems. And it's located literally on the very, very top of this water tower. So I feel like the only way you could get there is maybe somehow try and run up this pipe. But I don't see why you would want to do that, but maybe at some point there might be something a little bit more useful on top of the water tower. Not that the CCTV isn't useful, because it kind of is. You do need it for the code, which, by the way, apparently now changes every single time you play it. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of interesting. There's a few other random items and stuff just on roofs of houses. So, for example, you've just got all this random gas canister just chilling on the top. We can also just go into pretty much every single building. Now, in terms of stuff that is kind of here, we can also go underneath the map. And this is quite a cool way of actually seeing, you know, where anything goes, if there's anything secret, anything like that whatsoever. It doesn't seem like there's very much going on underneath here, but there are some really, really weird areas and some really strange buildings that we normally wouldn't get to see. So, for example, something like this. This is quite a strange building. There's nothing really inside it. But it looks really, really mad. You've kind of got like these crazy chimneys, and you've got like these aerials, and you've got these pipes. So maybe at some point these might be useful, or maybe we can go in them at some point. What's over here? Yeah, it's just like random stuff everywhere. So you've just got like tables and cars and sinks. And you've got some gates, and then if you go outside the boundaries of the map, you've got more buildings, and you've just got strange things and sinks, and there's a telephone here. Ooh. I wonder why. That's really weird. So I think that's the first telephone that we've ever found. And for some reason it's located in a sink on the very edge of the map, miles away from the house. Why? I have no idea. I'm kind of curious about that phone, because I think that this is actually an area you can get to without using the trainer. You just have to like run up in this direction, and from what it seems like, you can actually jump up and get the phone out of the sink. So maybe it doesn't do anything right now, but maybe it will in the future, who knows. If we keep moving on, we just have like a bunch of stuff really, really far away. So the cool thing is, I feel like the map itself has a lot more just weird stuff in than the original Hello Neighbor map. Although having said that, the original Hello Neighbor map wasn't actually like super small. There was lots of stuff on the sides, but the problem is you never actually got to go and use it for any of the game. You know, we were always on the same street, we were always in some kind of house, we never were able to like go into different buildings. So I think this is one cool thing about Hello Neighbor 2, is that you are like given access to the big map. Doesn't really do anything right now, but technically it could at some point, and I think that's kind of exciting. Alright, so on the top of the hill itself, if we just go into like normal walk mode here, I'm not sure if you can get up here without flying, but there is like a theme park. So this looks completely different from the theme park that I remember in Hello Guest. And I thought it was kind of like the same thing, but it's actually way, way smaller. I'm sure they might use some of the other stuff from that at some point, and it's much less detailed once you actually get up here. But basically, it's just kind of like a mini theme park. So you've got this like weird statue thing, which I don't really know what that's supposed to be. You've kind of got like a big top tent. You've got a few just random rides and stuff. And then, of course, you have the massive Ferris wheel. So one cool thing about the trader, right? If I just pause this for a second, if I go and increase the in-game speed to something like, I don't know, let's just go 19. And then I come back, we can make everything go really, really quick. And it's really, really strange. But yeah, this is the Ferris wheel. It does spin. It looks kind of cool. There's nothing really much up here, though. Here's some bits that I actually really, really like. And this is just purely down to, it's kind of interesting how they make the games. Hello Neighbor has always been such a weird, like, style of build. And to be honest, sometimes it kind of looks messy. But at the same time, I quite like it. Because you don't really see games that look too much like Hello Neighbor. But this is one of, I just noticed this. So this is the stick, right? And this is just like a stick that's here and it's holding up some like lights basically. And you think, oh, it's just a stick. But if you actually go underground to what you're not supposed to see, it's actually a brush. So they've taken a model for a brush. They've kind of like stuck a couple together and they've made it into like a light thing. I mean, sure, why not, right? So in terms of actual, like, stuff, you know, hidden areas and stuff, like, in the game itself, there isn't a huge amount. So there's this random thing here, which is in another house next to the lake. And this time around, this is kind of like a red television screen instead of a green one. I don't know if there's any difference in colors. I don't think so. But that's just randomly, like, hanging around here. Oh, yeah, it's by the cat. I forgot about the cats. But what I kind of feel like, and this is the thing, people have got to remember that when Tiny Build do this, this is very much a very, very early Alpha 1 build. So what the end game will be compared to this, I think it's probably going to change an awful lot. And I think this was one of the really exciting things about the original Hello Neighbor and how it caught like everyone's just like, you know, curiosity and, you know, people loved it with the mysteries and stuff. It's because you don't really know what they're going to do next. And the one cool thing about the alphas and the betas for the original was every single time we played one, it was always different. They changed the house, the puzzles, the shapes, the sizes, everything like that. So I'm really hoping they're going to do this with Hello Neighbor 2. Right, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to go and trigger the ending, and we're going to see if we can leave the map without it going to the end screen. Now, I'm not 100% sure how we're going to be able to do this, but I'll give it a go. What we're going to need is we're going to need to go and get the gold key. But the fire is already out because we disabled the neighbor, so we can't stoke the fire. Not the neighbor, sorry, the guest. So technically, we just need the crowbar. And, oh, actually, does it trigger if we just grab the suit? It does! Alright, so I'm not going anywhere near the end. Oh, we can actually see the neighbor here. There he is! Oh, he looks a bit younger. He looks healthy, right? Look at that. Oh, no, he's got grey streaks in his hair. Did you guys see that? Okay, so this is obviously in the future, but I feel like he's got some grey in his hair. That's interesting. Weirdly as well, when we triggered that ending there, it didn't go nighttime. It normally goes nighttime, but that's great. It means we can actually see what's going on. So this is what the end scene looks like up close. You actually have the neighbor here just chilling, basically, doing his thing. And then this is the car. So I think this looks pretty similar to the original car from his Hello Neighbor 1 build. So he's pulled up to the house, and all he's doing is he's literally just looking up at the window. That's it. And lurking behind here, for some reason there's a weird telephone. I don't think that was there first time. And of course, you've got the man in the hat, who's also just standing in the background and watching us both. How weird is that? Why? That's so strange. Huh, it's cool to see it up close, though. So I don't think much more triggers after the ending has been completed. So it does seem that when you actually grab the costume, that is the main sort of trigger for what happens. Can we put it on the neighbor? We throw it at him? I don't think we can really do anything with the actual costume. Can we give it to you? Do you want it? No? Okay, no one wants the costume. Oh well. Yeah, look at that. How strange. So yeah, unfortunately, I think that's pretty much everything for this particular episode. Ooh. We're like in the roof space here. Is there anything secret? I don't think so. Yeah, this is just the main area. So, of course, like, I'm excited for some extra new builds of Hello Neighbor 2. So hopefully, you know, an Alpha 2 won't be too far away. And yeah, I really like doing this, just looking around and finding sneaky things. But if you did enjoy this, please remember to put me in that like button. If you are not yet subscribed, go for it, because we do Hello Neighbor Done Fun. But until next time, thank you once again for watching. It's been such a pleasure. As always, thanks. And see ya.